The Tudors and Stuarts period was a time of major religious change and political conflict in Britain. During this period, the authority of the monarchy, the role of the church, and the power of Parliament all changed significantly. Understanding this period helps explain how modern Britain developed. After the Wars of the Roses, Henry VII became king. He wanted to ensure that England remained peaceful and that his position was secure. He strengthened central government and reduced the power of the nobles. He was careful with money and built up the monarchy's financial reserves. When Henry VII died, his son Henry VIII became king. Henry VIII continued to centralize power. He is most famous for breaking away from the Church of Rome. Henry wanted to divorce his first wife, Catherine of Aragon, because she did not give him a male heir. The Pope refused to allow the divorce. As a result, Henry established the Church of England. In this new church, the king, not the Pope, had authority over religion. Henry VIII married 6 times. Catherine of Aragon was his first wife. They had a daughter, Mary. Anne Boleyn was his second wife. They had a daughter, Elizabeth. She was executed. Jane Seymour gave Henry a son, Edward, but died shortly after his birth. Anne of Cleves was a political marriage and was later divorced. Catherine Howard was executed after being accused of taking lovers. Catherine Parr survived Henry and later remarried. At the same time, the Reformation was happening across Europe. This was a movement against the authority of the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church. Protestants formed their own churches. They read the Bible in their own language instead of Latin. They did not pray to saints and believed that a personal relationship with God was more important than church authority. Protestant ideas gradually spread in England, Wales, and Scotland during the 16th century. However, Ireland remained mainly Catholic. Attempts to impose Protestantism in Ireland led to rebellion and conflict. During Henry VIII's reign, Wales became formally united with England. Welsh representatives were sent to Parliament and the legal system was reformed. Henry VIII was succeeded by his son Edward VI. He was strongly Protestant. During his reign, the Book of Common Prayer was introduced. After Edward died, Mary I became Queen. She was a devout Catholic. She persecuted Protestants and became known as Bloody Mary. After Mary, Elizabeth I became Queen. She was Protestant and re-established the Church of England. People were required to attend church and follow certain forms of worship. However, Elizabeth did not try to control people's private beliefs. She managed to balance the differences between Catholics and Protestants. Because of this, England avoided serious religious conflict. In 1588, England defeated the Spanish Armada. The Spanish fleet had been sent to conquer England and restore Catholic rule. This victory made Elizabeth very popular. In Scotland, Protestant ideas also became strong. In 1560, the Scottish Parliament abolished the authority of the Pope. A Protestant Church of Scotland was established. Mary, Queen of Scots, was Catholic. She was forced to give up her throne to her Protestant son, James VI. She fled to England, where she was imprisoned by Elizabeth I. She was later executed after being accused of plotting against Elizabeth. The Elizabethan period was also a time of exploration, poetry, and drama. English explorers expanded trade and explored new routes. Sir Francis Drake sailed around the world. This period is especially famous for the works of William Shakespeare. He wrote many plays and poems that are still studied and performed today. Elizabeth I never married and had no children. When she died in 1603, her cousin James VI of Scotland became James I of England. During his reign, a new translation of the Bible into English was produced. This became known as the King James Bible. In Ireland, there were many rebellions against Protestant rule. The English government encouraged Protestant settlers from Scotland and England to move to Ireland. These settlements were known as plantations. This created long-term tensions in Ireland. Elizabeth I worked well with Parliament. However, James I and his son Charles I believed in the divine right of kings. They believed the king was chosen by God and did not need Parliament's approval. This caused serious conflict. Charles I tried to rule without Parliament. He also introduced religious changes that were unpopular. There was unrest in Scotland and rebellion in Ireland. Parliament refused to support him. In 1642, civil war began between the king and Parliament. Supporters of the king were called Cavaliers. Supporters of Parliament were called Roundheads. Parliament won the war. Charles I was executed in 1649. England became a republic known as the Commonwealth. It no longer had a monarch. Oliver Cromwell became the leader. He ruled as Lord Protector. After his death, there was no strong leadership. Many people wanted stability. In 1660, Charles II returned and became king. This event is known as the Restoration. During his reign, there was a major outbreak of plague in London in 1665. In 1666, the Great Fire of London destroyed much of the city. London was rebuilt, including St. Paul's Cathedral. The Habeas Corpus Act of 1679 ensured that no one could be held prisoner without a trial. The Royal Society was established to promote scientific knowledge. One important figure was Isaac Newton. He developed important ideas about gravity and light. Charles II was succeeded by his brother James II. James was Catholic and supported Catholic interests. Many people feared that England would return to Catholic rule. In 1688, William of Orange invaded England. James II fled the country. William and his wife Mary became joint rulers. This event is known as the Glorious Revolution. The Glorious Revolution confirmed that Parliament was more powerful than the monarch. This period of history saw major changes in religion, government, and power. It laid the foundations for modern Britain. If you're serious about passing the Life in the UK test, subscribe to the channel. I post new practice questions regularly to help you prepare more effectively. You can also download the study guide with real exam questions from the pinned comment below. Use it to revise, test yourself, and improve your confidence before the exam. Keep going, you're closer than you think.